Y'all, I don't think you're ready for today's video. I have a video that's actually uploading right now, and I forgot I was going to turn it off. This one can't wait, so I'll probably have it come out tomorrow. This is crazy, and I've been waiting. Okay, let me read the intro. What is Janet Mills hiding? Unearthed Memo shatters governor's narrative on 1990s cocaine investigation. And this comes from Fox News. It's crazy in the sense of us Mainers have known for so long that allegedly Mills has an addiction she shouldn't. And us Mainers have known this from Bangor, Bethel, Bath. I have personally met people that have known her personally or knew someone that personally partied with her and knew these allegations to be more true than false. So for years, even before I started YouTube, I was writing online and I wanted to do an expose on Janet Mills and the Mills family, because the further you dig, the more it really seems like there is some kind of, allegedly, mafia connection. Shit gets crazy. And while I was reviewing this, trying to find some kind of video to pull up to play on top of this so I could have that, there really isn't any. The Fox News article that I'll include that I read from, it's Pam Bondi and it's dealing with the transgender issue. It doesn't deal with any alleged drug abuse. And so I can't use that. And I tried finding old footage because the memo includes court case, and the court case references specific newscasting on specific days by specific people. So I was able to use that to look it up, but couldn't find anything. What I did find was something else. Now, I'm going to share the video. It's about 5 minutes long. And it's Unhinged appearing. I say appearing because, yes, I agree. Off first cuff, I would dismiss what this woman is saying. However, being somebody from Maine that has actively investigated the Mills family, I gave it a little bit more leeway than I think most people would. So I'm gonna play the video. It's wild, but I think it needs to be heard, and I think there is more truth than there is conspiracy, because even the term conspiracy theory came from the feds trying to dissuade people from believing JFK was accurately assassinated by their own. So they came up with the term conspiracy theory. And now we throw around the term conspiracy theory all the time. The thing is the difference between a conspiracy theory and conspiracy fact, it's about 6 months. And Janet Mills, with the past that she had, I knew it was only a matter of time once she clashed with Trump that these bleached court records would come out. And I'm saying in my personal investigation, her court records have been bleached because I've paid money to try and find information on her that I know must be out there, but I can't find it. And this woman talks about a potentially bleached court case, and so I won't be able to refute it. But what I will say is, this Mills expose, it's going to be much bigger than one video. But Fox News just came out with this article. I'm actually a little bit late on reviewing it, but still, you gotta see it. Before we get into that video, I do want to talk about the court case, the memo that Fox News is reporting on. So the name of the article is Dem Governor's Decades-Old Political Persecution Claim Over Alleged Cocaine Use Disputed by Bombshell Memo. Newly unearthed Justice Department document contradicts Democrats' long-standing claim of political targeting. This is by Deirdre Heavey, Andrew Mark Miller from Fox News, published just June 27th, 2025. So this is brand new. A couple days old, but still. Maine's Democratic Governor, Janet Mills, has, for years, dismissed an investigation into her alleged cocaine use as politically motivated, but a newly unearthed memo obtained by Fox News Digital contradicts her decades-old claim. In early 1990, the U.S. Attorney's Office, USAO, in Maine, the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, and Maine's Bureau of Intergovernmental Drug Enforcement, BIDE, investigated Mills, then a sitting district attorney in Maine, after a drug suspect accused her of using cocaine. The investigation was eventually dropped without charges being filed, but Mills has maintained that the investigation never had any merit and that she was politically targeted for her Democratic affiliation and criticism of BIDE. In 1990, she and two other district attorneys in Maine criticized BIDE for inflating arrest numbers through excessive enforcement of low-level drug offenders. So that's the Fox News article. It goes in more, you can read it, but what I wanted to do was dig into the memo. So that's what I did. It's 30 pages long, or 29. What I will say is that about 5.5 pages are completely redacted, maybe even more. Of course, that's fairly normal, I'm sure. But the areas that were redacted were getting spicy. And you're like, oh, I want more redacted. So I don't know what that says. I mean, some of it involved other people that was being redacted, so it's not fair for their information to go public because she's being investigated. However, she was in such political power and esteem that, and it's crazy, this case back from the 1990s, early 1990s, touches upon names Joe Biden, Robert Mueller III, Richard Cohen, like names that we're still familiar with. And she was actually investigated because Joe Biden said that they should go forward with it. He was a senator in Delaware at the time, Democrat. And also the person from Maine that initiated the investigation was also a Democrat. So all of her claims are unfounded. She was not politically targeted. She was well known around the state, allegedly partying and using partying substances. And I've even heard people that said they've seen photos. They took, like they had an old Polaroid. They can't find it now, but it showed Mills and the person's friends abusing party drugs. So many people in the state knew of what she was doing. And she claims that she was politically targeted and that she was coerced, that witnesses were coerced to testify against her. And they investigated all of it and they found no such claims. I don't understand why they didn't find Mills guilty of cocaine use, because in the memo, from what I read, she doesn't even deny using that substance. Also, wouldn't they have done tests on her? And there's no mention of any kind of toxicology, and that's weird. And all of it is sus, and it just gets more and more conflated. So basically the argument that Mills makes is that she was politically targeted and that the BIDE overreached and they leaked information, and she was basically trying to get a mistrial because she didn't have anything else to go on. So the entire time I was reading this stuff, it was just her trying to claim that the procedure had gone wrong. And so it's strange because you have here AUSA, TOOF, and the investigating agents were also sensitive to the fact that many persons who purported to have information about Miss Mills may have had a motive to lie. Some had been prosecuted. So back on December 12th, 1991, there was requesting a review of allegations that the USAO in Maine refused to investigate the grand jury leak and the attorneys and agents engaged in intimidation and coercion of witnesses during the investigation. The letter suggested that the allegations go far beyond the state agency involved. On January 21st, 1992, Senator Joe Biden requested that DOJ, OPR, look into those allegations. Far beyond the state. Like, state and federal. Like, the Mills family, her father was in politics, her brother was in politics, her sister is in public domain. Sus. And I mean, there was some redacted information. Again, some of it's going to happen, but when it's redacted, like when it occurs that the redacting happens, it's sus. So here we have the Maine Special Investigatory Council determined that the large number of reports compiled by Biden agents in 1990 contained significantly credible allegations of Miss Mills' connection to cocaine to justify referring the case to the USAO. But we're talking about substantial, large numbers, many people. How did she get away with this? How has she gotten away with this for so long? I am so glad that she clashed with Trump and now this is all coming out. I knew it was a matter of time. It was only a matter of time before this got out because you can only lie on such a large stage about your past before it'll finally come up and catch up with you, Janet Mills. And that time is now. The report is 29 pages. It basically goes back and forth where Mills never actually denies using cocaine. What she tries to fight is there were leaks, that Biden went about their process wrong, that there was basically to try and get a mistrial so that it would get dismissed and she wouldn't have to respond yes or no. She doesn't answer. She doesn't say no. She doesn't say yes. She just ignores that. And that's weird to me. So you're going to have to let me know down below what you think. Do you have any personal experience, family or friends' personal experience with Mills from back in the day? Because I have a friend that's a lawyer and she was able to bleach her records, even now today in social media day and age. We grew up on the cusp of it. So if someone can get rid of records like that, then I can only imagine how much easier it would be to get rid of information that was not digitalized. So does anyone have any information? Go ahead and leave a comment down below, reach out to me. And now for that video that I promised. Like I said, it comes off as unhinged. Dismiss it if you want, but if you live in Maine, these allegations are not as far-fetched as you would think. And that's hard to swallow. I'm not saying she's telling the truth. I have no idea. I've never met this woman. I only found this today doing investigation. And the thing is that there's not really many videos of Mills out there. And the ones that are basically always in support of her. So it's hard for me to have videos to pull from. So I am going to include this video. Bear with me, but also stick through to the end to let me know what you think. Without any more rambling, let's dig in.
Hey Janet, I'm not done sharing the truth yet. Here's Miss Mafia Mills. School teacher Mills? She doesn't even know what she is, Mills. And if you check out these channels right here, you'll find out what I have to say about Governor Janet Mills. Truth, fact, proof, and evidence. Yes, and please check out this channel as well. Oh, and yes, for decades I've been telling you about Janet Mills and her cocaine, and then in March of 2023, I got kicked out of the home because I told everybody about Janet and her cocaine, and I threatened to open the barn door in Wilton, Maine, the Bryant's location, and let all the cocaine fly out, and that would mean it looked like a snowfall going over to Steve's Market, but they wouldn't be benefiting anymore off from it. And the day after I said that, lo and behold, there was a notice to quit, 30 days giving me to move out. And then the following day, there was a notice on the door, so I wasn't able to get my belongings or my vehicle. It was all roped off like a fucking murder scene. Condemned notice, just long enough for them to take possession of all of my personal and everything else I own. I know a lot about the Janet Mills and the Kim Morrow, as well as my own case that disappeared out of Androscoggin. Yep, right off the radar. But if you ask former officer Heidi Gould Wilcox, she will tell you. I approached her when she was the chief of police in Wilton, Maine, and then she resigned. I asked her what happened to the case. Rape, attempted murder, kidnapping. He was indicted. And then it swept right off the fucking radar. One of Janet's cocaine dealing friends. So if anybody remembers a juror, or if you were a juror in Androscoggin County, Maine, back in 2002 for indictment, would you kindly reach out to my channel, comment, and I will get back to you, because I would like to know what happened to the indictments. He kidnapped me and my children. He was charged with it and indicted with it, as well as raped me, beat me, and left me. And all of the evidence left me for the fucking dead. And the evidence was found by the police just as I had recollected. And don't forget about my husband, who was listed missing because he's got a case of missing person listed out of Honolulu, Hawaii, because for some reason, nobody knows where my husband, William Eugene Asher, disappeared to. Just vanished right off the fucking radar. But did he really? No, he did not. And that's a fact. Back to Mischievous Mills. Here's the full article, people. I told everybody about this, and you can ask people that have talked to me, and they'll tell you, wow, yeah, she did tell me. So, who's really to blame for suppressing all this information? Not the public. I've told you about all this corruption going on continuously. Miss Sophisticated behind the desk, or what? In case you missed it. And so for this 4th of July of 2025, that would be why the smart ones of us are going to be requesting abolish the government, because it's our day to walk downtown, because it's Independence Day and we need to declare our freedom and take back our country. That means everybody needs housing. So pick your choice land that's empty. Don't be posting up on somebody. But if you know there's land that's empty and it's been taken by the state or government, that is stolen land, people. So let's do something about it in a civil manner. I'm not looking for trouble, but I'm looking for reaction, because action has been taken. They took from us and we need to take it back. Thank you, God bless, and have a happy 4th of July.
I warned you about the video, y'all, did I not? I by no means support any or all of what she says. The thing is that when you start going down the Mills rabbit hole, these are the kind of things that come up. These are all alleged. I by no means have the answers, but I have had many, many questions for many, many years, and so have most of the other Mainers that I talk to that have been paying attention. Now we're finally getting it onto national news, so I think we'll finally get some answers, especially because With a closet as full as Mills, she should not have chosen a fight with Trump. And I agree with Trump. Janet Mills is wrong to do what she's done with pushing the transgender ideology, politics. Most Mainers don't even support her, even those on her own side. So it makes it really hard to relate to her in a positive light at all. And then when you start digging into her past, the skeletons are massive and gruesome, allegedly. I'm gonna call it there. This rabbit hole goes much deeper. I'm gonna take you on it with me. I've done some research on my own in the past, but now I'm gonna take you guys along for the show and see if we can figure out who's been running the state of Maine for the last couple years, and do we really know that much about her? Or is a lot of what she says lies? Go ahead, drop a comment down below, hit the bell notification, so that way anytime, mess that up. Go ahead and slam the bell icon, so that way anytime I upload a video, you get notified, because what's coming up, you are not gonna wanna miss. All right, y'all, this has been Drew Hoagland with the Maine Perspective. Until next time,
Ready?
peace out, y'all.
Fight!